I just had to listen to some of the things. Like I say, this was one of the most informative podcasts I ever heard in my life. Everything that y'all saying, I could feel personally.
How you know what donkey piss tastes like?
That's what it. I don't know.
But it sounds like women are the problem. It sounds like men have this issue with communicating with women because we just don't get it.
Hopefully, guys, y'all picking up what I'm putting down, because if you ain't actively listening, you ain't
smelling
shit
what
right
you
now.
stepping in.
They way of taking accountability. They gonna make some food for you and give you a plate. Here. They not gonna say sorry or nothing. Here you go.
Talking about life, religion and the rules, politics, culture, yeah, it's all on cue. Racism, sexism, we put it on the floor, but their words are theirs and nothing more. Every thought they say, it's theirs alone. It don't reflect us, no, just their tone. Comments and vibes is how they feel, but they share, that's their own deal. Agree or not, that's up to you. Everyone's voice deserves a debut, but what they say is just their own song. We keep the vibe moving right along.
Welcome back to Zealous Vibes, but there's nothing off the table. Relationships, conspiracies, culture, self-improvement. If it's happening, we're talking about it, man. Today, we got a very interesting conversation today. We're going to be talking about some of the most controversy thing in relationships. But before we go into that, we do got a special guest in the building. But you got your boy DJ Willie Will, and today we also got
Your boy Tone Block.
KT, no other task.
Big Mama.
and I can't forget Tata. Tata is online. If you can hear me or not, Tata, go ahead and say something.
Yes, yeah. Hey, it's me, your girl Tata.
Yeah. So we got another lady in the building. So we got women of all ages. And
The real Cherie on IG with a C.
with the motherfucking C.
That's right.
What's going on, Cherie? Thank you for showing up today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Man, I just had to get you on here. I had to get some real women on here that give some real perspectives
What you saying about
life.
my kinfolk here? They ain't real?
No, they already on here.
Nah, I just playing.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you gotta just add a little.
Right?
Ain't no
Got
wrong
an
with
older
that.
perspective.
Right.
She done lived life.
I have lived now. Not older though.
Older than us. That's
I'm
what I
definitely
mean.
older
Older
than
than
y'all.
us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Gotta start or something.
Yeah.
Right. Leave it to Tone.
No, I love my age. I'm proud
Shots.
of it. 45 in October.
Hey.
What's your birthday?
October 28th. I'm a Scorpio, baby.
Oh, okay. 14th over here. Sorry to hear that.
Okay, Libra. You wanted it.
Continue.
You missed it.
Speaking her language, that's the topic for today, man. There's a lot of fellas out there, man. Y'all been frustrated as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in that predicament a few times. It's been said over the years that men and women speak two different languages. So today we're just gonna break down a little bit, and I'm gonna kind of do less talking, but I'm gonna hit y'all women's up with some questions though, because you know we need answers. There's situations where we find ourselves in, and we be like, how the fuck we get in this situation? And a lot of it deals with communication. So the first thing we're gonna break down is, if y'all can help me out with these ladies, is the effective way to communicate in a relationship.
In general, so what I've gotten was the process of exchanging information, ideas, or thoughts with clarity and purpose with mutual understanding. Active listening, empathy, understanding intentions and emotional situations behind the message, feedback, nonverbal cues, and appropriate channels. With effective communication, I think even myself, when I looked up the definition and the terms of effective communication, I can say that I am maybe partly wrong in certain parts of communicating. Because for one, I lack the ability to have empathy when it comes to communicating. When somebody comes to me to communicate about their feelings or anything that they have thoughts on. And also, I believe that as a woman, we are the first ones to have the emotions to come to communicate with. So I had to learn over the years on not to react first, but to actually get the feelings out the way and then communicate your feelings, because that's when it can cross paths.
Okay. And before we go to the next lady, I just want to get some stats out here. So we have Taz. We're not gonna give your age, but are you married, single, or dating, or in a relationship?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay, we're gonna put that because I want everybody to hear these points of views coming from different perspectives. Sure, you got something to say on that, or you got
I do.
on this whole effective communication talking, or what you got?
a lot
What's
to
on
say.
your mind?
I got a lot to say. First, I think for me, the biggest misconception in relationships is men forget about that a woman is emotional, and women forget about that men are physical. So because you forget those two things, you're expecting him to communicate the way you would or understand feelings the way you would. And he's expecting her to understand things or emotions, not understanding her emotions at all, but not realizing this is a part of her DNA. She can't turn off being emotional just like you can't turn off being physical. And I think because those two things get forgotten about in communicating and relationships, that's the breakdown. And then everything else happens after that.
What do you mean physical?
Talking about how men communicate physically.
Are you talking about like the need of physical touch and intimacy, or like that's what they strive for, or are you talking about physical how?
I'm talking about DNA, your wiring. Women are born naturally being emotional. We're emotional beings. We're emotional creatures. That's in our DNA. Men are physical beings. And how that breaks down and shows up in a relationship is, I like to use the example of sex all the time.
Okay.
Because men complain a lot. They don't get it enough from their woman, or when she's unhappy, the first thing she gonna shut down is the bedroom. Why do you think that is? It's because she's emotional. If you hadn't taken care of your woman's emotions and we hadn't fixed that problem, then my physical as a woman comes with my emotional. When my emotional is A-okay, the physical gonna come with it, and that's your need. His need is physical. He has physical needs. Men have physical needs. You can't shy away from that. That's their DNA. And I think women forget about that. When he's complaining about his needs not being met, you have to understand, to me, the true nature of who he is first. He's a physical being.
Now, before we go further, we're not going to drop your age out there, but can you give us your status as far as, are you in a relationship? Are you dating? Are you married? Are you divorced?
I've never been married.
Okay.
I am in a relationship.
All right. Okay. What's the longest relationship you've been in?
That was a real sketchy relationship.
I know.
You better watch out, boy. You better watch out. You better watch out.
Talk to you right now, you don't know it.
That's a whole nother podcast, nigga. You better
It is a whole nother podcast, but
Tread
my
softly.
answer is not cookie cutter, because my current relationship has been one of those that has been, on again, off again, or when y'all trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So,
okay.
you know what I
Been
mean?
there.
Okay. Yeah, so we're trying to figure some things out.
So, I'm going to step back to Taz. What's the longest relationship you've been in?
About 5 to 6 years.
5 to 6 years. Sure, it was the longest relationship you've been in.
Like 22 plus.
22.
Damn.
All right, we got our next. We're going to come to you, Big Mom, in a second, if you want to talk. But we got Tata. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, we ain't going to tell your age, but are you married? You single? You divorced? What's up?
I'm married.
You married? All right, that's what's up. Now, how long have you been in a relationship? Not including your marriage. You can include your marriage, but I'm talking about a relationship as a whole. How long have you been in a relationship?
To be honest, with my husband has been my longest relationship. We've actually been together 10 years.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Now, we're going to tie this all in, but can you give us a little something on effective communication, on how you feel effective communication is in your life?
Communication in general is very important. That's the best way to learn and to understand a person is through communication. And not every time it's going to be easy because of the disagreement. and learning that I feel like it's okay to disagree. And I feel like in my marriage alone, learning that it's okay to disagree was kind of like, it was almost like an issue. And we had to understand, like, to agree to disagree is literally okay.
So what I'm hearing right now, a form of effective communication is knowing that y'all always don't have to be in agreement on something.
That's true.
Because everybody's not the same and everybody might not agree, but understanding, being at a mature level to understand that y'all don't have to agree, but life still goes on and it's okay. That is a nice way to like communicate or to practice communication.
You have to know how to disagree.
You got to know how to disagree.
You have to know how to disagree. I think that just because we don't agree on the same thing, when you take it too far, it's because you hit below the belt. Some things, to prove a point, you just shouldn't say or you just shouldn't do. And it's okay that we don't agree. We can agree to disagree and walk away respectfully. Just like you can have your opinion and I can have mine, and they can be different. But because we respect each other, it's okay that we don't agree and we can move on this thing, or maybe we revisit it another time. But the way you argue matters. If you are a person that, maybe you lose control in an argument, or maybe you just always want to be right. There are some people that will argue a point all day long, and it don't matter if they right or wrong. They just want to be right. They don't care about the facts.
Right.
They don't care about what you're saying.
Right.
They don't care about hitting below the belt. Whatever they got to do to be right, that's all they want to do is just be right.
And they just
that's just wrong.
Which I want to tie in one thing, because the agreeing to disagree and people getting upset when they're trying to communicate ties into a few things, which is the method of communication. You have assertive, you have passive, you have aggressive, and you have passive aggressive. Some people can be assertive, get their point across or whatever, everything's okay. But then when you get into that passive mode and you're avoiding the conversation or you're avoiding the problem, that end up being a problem because someone wants to communicate with you. They wants to get the problem handled. I ain't gonna lie. I felt into this before because everybody know I done been to counseling forever and a day, goddamn. And I found out one of my motherfucking problem was avoidance. I avoid the hell out your ass if I don't want to fucking be bothered. So avoidance is a big problem. When someone wants to communicate with you and you avoid it, that causes an emotional reaction in them or causes something else in them, which makes them frustrated. And then you got the aggressive part. Now, this is where a lot of people go wrong once again. Someone's communicating and all of a sudden it can be the female or the male and you get aggressive. And that aggressive right there, that's it. And now the one that snipe people is that passive aggressive shit. That passive aggressive, that smart aleck ass shit. That I'm talking with a calm voice, but I'm being sassy with my shit. That right there. You done did that shit before?
Yeah, sound like you too.
See, I wasn't gonna say it. She done called a nigga out. I wasn't gonna say it. That passive aggressive and shit, that'll get you too, that passive aggressive. Cause you being calm, you being cool, but at the same time, you poking at people and you getting at them. But you gotta watch out for those methods.
All right.
What you got, Tom? What's on your mind?
This how I usually tend to go on some personal shit. I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna let you know what the problem is. Like, if you ain't talking to me for a minute, I can feel it in the air. All right, let me adjust the elephant in the room. See, like, hey, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? What's to you? And then it'd be on some, nothing. Okay, nah. If it was nothing, it wouldn't feel like this. So then we get to the nitty gritty, and you tell me what you say. I tell you how I feel about it and the reason that it's happening, and you still want to be on some bullshit. So then it'll be like I tell you, well, this happened for this reason. And you be like, oh, well, I just learned to live with it, accept it or whatever. At that point, shit, ain't no need to talk no more. Cause I'm trying to break it down and you telling me some shit that's one answers, you know what I'm saying? One word answers and some bullshit. Well, shit, now that you know how I feel, I got my shit off my chest. If you don't want to elaborate no more, fuck it. We can stop talking. And that's when it'd be the shutdown. After I tried and I communicate and we get to the point where I got my shit out and you still bullshitting, well, fuck it, keep bullshitting. I'm finna roll out. I'm finna go downstairs, watch cartoons or whatever the fuck I do to get my mind off it, and then you can deal with it.
So I feel like even this conversation is geared towards how to communicate with a woman.
Right.
But it sounds like women are the problem. It sounds like men have this issue with communicating with women because we just don't get it. But that's not it.
That's not it.
The problem in relationships is communication. Put a period behind that. Because that's a man and female issue. Y'all have problems communicating with us. We have issues with communicating with y'all. That's why I said what I said in the beginning. And it does break down to who your partner is. Who is this person? If you know your partner, and we can break it down in anatomy, male, female. If you know a man and how they're made, their DNA, how they're wired, how they naturally respond to things, then you will know how to tailor your communication to that man.
Agree.
But if you have a man, let's just say he's a more sensitive man. Now you got to know your partner. This is a more sensitive man, and he responds differently to things. So half of it is knowing us as male and female, but the other half is knowing your partner. And then this ain't just a woman issue. This is a everybody issue. Because men, women, I don't care who you are, what relationship you in, if it's female, female, male, male. Communication and the breakdown in communication involves everybody in that relationship. And until you learn how to communicate with who your partner is, like he was saying, what's your tone. You said you would express yourself to your woman and your woman will shut down. She won't respond. And after you do that, you get on that same level. Well, fuck it then, right? So now ain't nobody communicating, but everybody's still mad. You did the right thing. I need to say that to you. You did the right thing and going to her. I hope you did it respectfully, because that matters too. How you come to me, if I'm still shut down, how you came matters, because how I respond next is going to be how you came to me. So if you came respectful and I still shut down, I wasn't trying to hear it, I'm the problem in that situation.
Okay, let me give you a little more specific example. Say it was something that I did or didn't do that was the problem. So then it turns into you being quiet, so I address it and you tell me about it, but it's over with. It's nothing. It was not like it was something wrong or right. It was just something that was neglected to be done, or something that was done that's like, okay, I can learn from it, but we got to move on for it. At that point, I apologize. I tell you, I understand, and whatever the situation is, what the fuck you want me to do?
I got a question.
I can't do no more than I can't go in the past, baby. I can't fix it. I can go further and not do it again. But you still sitting here with your face on, looking crazy. That ain't gonna help us. So then fuck it. Then I already told you how it is. You know, you felt the sentiment that I gave you and everything. I meant it. And it's genuine. And you still over here looking crazy. My hands up. Let me go on down here and smoke.
I got a question too. Before I go on this question, we got Hayes in the motherfucking building, man. What's up, Hayes? Ladies always.
I seen you with that Remy, my boy.
Always on his time.
Plush himself. But my question is, it ties into what Tone's saying, and y'all can answer this individual because it might be an individual answer. How do you communicate with a woman that don't want to communicate at the moment? That might, because everybody's different. So can you tell us in your perspective, and Tata, in your perspective, how can we communicate with you if you shut down on us? Like at that moment, how can we get back?
There's a chair that stays empty where you used to sit. Every night I feel the silence where your voice don't fit. The walls feel colder though the fire still burns bright. But the warmth ain't the same without you here tonight. Come back where you know you belong. Every step without you just feels wrong. Whatever took you away, it can't be stronger. Come on home, I can't wait any longer. We don't need words, I know you can feel the love between us, it's always been real. Keeps blowing, carrying thoughts of you, but every mile between us makes it harder to get through. I trace the steps you left, but they fade in the night. Still I'm holding on, praying you'll make it right. Come back where you know you belong. Every step without you just feels wrong. Whatever took you away, it can't be stronger. Come on home, I can't wait any longer. We don't need words, I know you can feel the love between us, it's always been real.
So with that shutdown situation, as far as not being ready to communicate, depending on what the situation is. Because I can say, like, I have a habit of shutting down, and the reason why I do that is because I might not know what the fuck to say next, depending on the situation. Because yeah, you can come to me and just give me the whole rundown about how you feel about this situation, and then I sit there and I look at you with a blank face. Is because at that very moment, I don't know what to say. Because me personally, I don't want to blow up. I don't feel like cussing and fussing and just, hollering and all that going on, because I'm not that type of person. I'll do it if I have to, but if I don't have to, I would avoid it at all costs. And me avoiding it, if I need to go sit down somewhere and cool off and rethink the conversation, then I feel like, why not allow me to do that? If you say, fuck it, I'm finna go sit down and chill somewhere, okay, cool. Because I need to go sit down and recalculate what the fuck just happened and why the fuck are we arguing? Right, and is it worth it?
Right. And I always do this. I sum it up for those people who just don't catch what people are saying. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you saying that sometimes you just need time? Like, you need time to process what happens, and once you process what happens, then you can handle the situation. Am I correct on that?
Just me personally, yes. I need some time to reevaluate the reason why we even having these conversations.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. Who we got next? We got these ladies in the building.
Do you ever think that maybe you could have took that time to reflect on what it was that happened or didn't happen before y'all had the tension build up and had the communication? Since you say you shut down, sometimes you just need time. Do you just do that beforehand sometimes, and you don't, you know what I'm saying, y'all can keep continuing life without having to even had this build up? And if so, does that reflect on you or him, or is it just one of them things you just deal with and go on?
I feel like it's a reflect on both of us. Mm-hmm. Because we both do this. Mind you, me and my husband, we both leaders. So some of the stuff that goes on, like, we both do the same thing. Sometimes he'll shut down. If I'm the one that needs to get it all out, sometimes he'll be the one that shut down. And I respect him because I know, shit, that's something I do too.
That's
could it have been done differently? Yes.
That's what I was going to speak on when you was speaking about your wife, and based off of what Cherie said too, you got to know your partner too, because the same thing with Tata saying taking her time, I'm sure her and her husband understand, like, this is the way they communicate. So if he understands, like, hey, I know you might need your time to come back to me, I do feel like she could tell that person, hey, just give me time and I'll come back to you.
Okay, one last thing, and then y'all can have the flow. So, by you sitting back or by her sitting back, sometimes it gives, they know something wrong, but they don't even give a fuck. What you got to say? I'm done.
I understand it, because that's the same way that most men feel, like we don't give a fuck. But then it's not that. As a woman perspective, it's
I'm
not
going to tell you what I had to learn for myself. In difficult situations or disagreements, shutting down is the easy thing to do. It's easy. It's the most comfortable thing to do. But I had to, and I was complaining about this very thing with my partner, but doing it also at the same time. So I had to get real with myself. The same results that I want is the same results that he wants. So how about you do it? How about you do it? And then when you do it, the next time he's doing it, you get to hold him accountable. So when let me tell you what happens. Let's say it's an argument and he shuts down. When I say hold him accountable, this is what I mean. I say to him, hey, babe, we having this issue. I communicate what the issue is or whatever my stance or my opinion is on it. He's not giving me no feedback, no energy, no nothing. He's shut down. The next thing I say to him is, it sounds something like, you shutting down on me right now. I call it out. When I call it out, it makes him feel away. Because, see, when somebody hold a light to your wrongdoing, it's hard for you to hide it. And I'm coming respectfully. We done argued about my tone before, so I make sure all them boxes that he used to complain about, well, your tone be out. Sometimes it ain't what you say, but how you say it. I make sure I can check all them boxes. So the next thing that comes out of his mouth, it ain't gonna be about my tone, because that was right. It ain't gonna be about what I said, because I said it right. Now we got to talk about the energy you're not giving me. I'm coming to you and communicating to you like the grown woman that I am. I need you to show up like the grown man that you are. When you tailor the way you respond in situations like that, it will change the whole situation. And I ain't giving you my opinion. I'm telling you what works. But sometimes, this go for men and women, you got to put your pride to the side and do that thing that you want done. You do it first. Stop waiting on somebody to do what you want done, and how about you just do it? Right. And then when you do it, now you on the good foot, and they can get on board with your page.
Mm-hmm. So let's go back around the block and get back on track. So starting off with Taz, Tata already told you, how do a man, in your perspective, come back and communicate with you, Taz, when you shut down?
I'm always let you know prior to us communicating about any type of disagreement or argument or debate or issue. So as my partner, I let you know ahead of time, because it's something that I do know that I be having to work on. And what I do is have him understand that this is me, and that later on I will come back and have the conversation with you. It might not be right when you want it, but if I do collect myself, and you know my personality, I just want you to respect the time, because it's okay to walk off and come back. Because as she said, women think off their first emotions and feelings, and my first trigger is my feelings. So my feelings are hurt, but let me collect myself, because I don't want to have any wrongdoing towards you, or I don't want to take it out on you because you coming to me,
okay,
or you communicating to me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you know I always do this. So what I'm hearing is that if you shut down, and a man wants to come and communicate, what you're saying is, let me come to you, don't come back to me.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That could be a long time.
I mean, I'm just, I don't know if people don't know. We're going to talk about this later, active listening. And hopefully, guys, y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Because if you ain't actively listening, you ain't
smelling
shit
what
right
you're
now.
stepping in.
But yeah, so Cherie, what you got? So if you shut down, we saying if you shut down, this might not be your style.
Yeah.
But if you shut down, how can a man communicate with you once you shut down? Resolve that. Yeah,
I'm going to keep it a buck. If I shut down, I do need him to continue to ask me what's wrong. Because your initial ask, and I'm just keeping it real, your initial ask as a woman, I mean, because I don't think it's just me, because I've heard too many women say, and men I've heard say, you ask her what's wrong, she'll be like, nothing. But they know it's really a something. So, and it really is a something. She just can't spit it out like that. So yeah, I do need you to come and ask when you see my mood ain't changing. I'm still off. I'm still sour. I do need you to come ask me again. And I'm not going to play the long game with you. I'm going to tell you. But I do need that. I need you to ask me more than one time. And I ain't going to say need. Let me back up. I want that. That's what I want. I want you to ask me again, because maybe I ain't ready to talk. But I do want you to come back and ask me again. And I'm not gonna say that that's right. I'm not trying to make that be right. It should be when you come to me and ask me what's wrong, I tell you and I give you the truth in that moment. And I will say for myself, that is something that I've had to deal with myself on and check myself. because my partner has asked me what's wrong, and I said nothing, knowing it was a something. And then he went on. But I'm the one over here still upset now. And then I'm upset because he ain't came back and asked again, right?
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
I'm boiling up a little bit more, right? Because he looked like he moving on with his day, and I'm still in my feelings.
You know, and I'm holding back like Mike and everybody else. I'm holding back.
But this is when I had to check myself.
Yeah.
Because now, Cherie, are you mad because you just want to be mad? Do you want to actually get to the bottom of this? Do you want to resolve it? Do you want to hear what he got to say? Do you want to hear his explanation? Do you want him to explain?
You just
because
want
he
it to not
asked you,
happen.
like, come on, he asked you what's wrong, and you said nothing, which was a lie, by the way. So, me checking myself now, I gotta go back to him. Baby, can we talk? He's gonna say sure. We're going to sit down, and then I'm going to say what I should have said when he asked me in the beginning.
So you took the long road instead of the shortcut to fix it.
I did, because I was in my feelings, and self-checking is a must.
Big Mama, do you want to get in on this?
Oh, I don't shut down. I get violent.
Oh, we know that. I just, hey.
Passive aggressive all the
Her
way.
shit straight aggressive.
And
You're
that's
going to
what I
find
was
out
praying
right then.
Yeah.
Shit. So, now, ladies, we done went through y'all, and I am going to open up this mic to the gentlemen because I appreciate y'all gentlemen for holding back. Y'all seen these fucking expressions? Hayes, I'm like, I gotta fucking say something.
I need
Mike, like, hand me the fucking mic.
I need better body language, not to.
Nah, he was over there going
Tone like, I thought y'all was going to say that shit.
Yeah.
But Hayes, I mean, what's on your mind?
Now, what part?
About the shutting down, because we've heard, and I did this on purpose, because nobody's identical in this world, and women's are different. And my point is, you got to learn your woman in order to effectively communicate. So, but right now we're talking about this shutting down thing, and this shutting down thing, I believe I heard 3 different scenarios on how to how to navigate. I ain't gonna say solve, how to navigate this shutting down perspective. But hold on, before we come to you, Hayes, I mean Mike. Yeah, so go ahead, just y'all give him a second, because I know these niggas want to say some shit. So
he has something to say.
just let him talk first. Hear him out, Taz.
Oh, Lord.
Big Mama, no throwing shit.
Respectfully.
Go ahead, Mike. You got the mic.
All right, so when Will just told me about what was going to be going on today, this sparked my interest highly because I'm dealing with everything that was said today. Like, I have a wife that does basically everything that y'all been saying. No, I'm not perfect. I communicate horribly. But it was what you said that made so much sense to me. Like, you know something is wrong. I know something is wrong. I'm reading the whole vibe in the whole house. The vibe is off. What is wrong? Nothing. I know you're lying. But whatever. I do everything that every one of y'all, minus to get violent. I do everything that y'all say. I walk off. I come back and ask again because I know you are not telling the truth. What is wrong? Nothing. You're not gonna let this go if you don't tell me what's wrong. But you keep saying there's nothing. And again, I am a man. I tone approach. Well, fuck it then. You said ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's gonna leave like?
Yeah.
Did I not ask you for the past 30 minutes what was wrong with you?
Yeah.
But when I finally say, you know what? Fuck it. Granted, I probably shouldn't use those terms.
Yeah.
Because I didn't.
But that's when you're gonna hear what's really wrong.
And I know that. I know it's a trigger. So I gotta use a trigger word to get her reaction to tell me the truth.
A few minutes ago, I gave another trigger, if you want to call it that. What I had to start doing with my partner, and what I think people should do. When you come respectfully asking that person what's wrong, and they shut down and don't tell you, you call them out, especially if you're practicing what you preach now. It don't work if you're not doing it either.
I just had to listen to some of the things. Like I say, this was one of the most informative podcasts I ever heard in my life. Everything that y'all saying, I could feel personally. So, baby, what's wrong? Like, how you said? You want me to come back again? How many goddamn times I gotta come back and ask you what's
Want you to
wrong
kiss
and you
their
tell
ass.
me nothing?
Right. So
That's not true.
we gonna get
That's not true.
we gonna get to you. So what it sound like that you learned that there's 3 different ways to come to it. You got to figure out how to come to yours.
I didn't experience all of these.
So it's like Cherie was saying, you got to be direct.
You- 'cause you
and it's
haven't-
like Taz said,
haven't
she
done
told
that.
her man or emphasized to her man how to come at me if I do this. So you need to have a conversation and let her know when you do this. I need to know how to handle you. I mean, in lame.
Or, baby, you're shutting down right now, and I'm really trying to move us past this. But if you don't tell me what's wrong, we can't move past it.
I deal with this personally.
Yeah.
You say you a grown ass woman. You a grown ass. Have a grown ass person conversation.
But sometimes people are not emotionally mature.
No, we hear you.
So
We hear you. And I'm gonna cut it short because we running over our break time real quick, and I got to keep it rolling. But I do want to get these last 2 in,
Emotional maturity
and I know y'all
is a
want.
real thing.
And actually, we gonna talk about that a little bit when we come back. Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
Hayes, go ahead and say it, man. We grown ass people. Go ahead and say it. I know you want to say it. Y'all let them talk.
I just think women want you to kiss their ass a lot of times. They want you to ask them over and over and over and over and over again the same shit when we could have handled this in 5 minutes, squash it, and been done with it. But when the roles reverse, it's different. It's like a man, we'll take accountability for what's going on. You know what? My bad. I'm sorry. Let's move on from this. I apologize. A woman, boy, they don't take accountability for shit. They way of taking accountability, they gonna make some food for you and give you a plate. Here. They not gonna say sorry or nothing. Here you go. Here you go. Or if you married or something and y'all don't, the married people don't be having sex like that, all of a sudden now she won't have sex. That's her way of apologizing. I'm sorry, let's have sex. Because I know this is what you want.
I had to. We gonna get back to y'all ladies in a second. I know y'all want to come back at on time.
And it's just like it don't even make sense because we both grown. And I understand what y'all saying about emotional intelligence and all that, but these are simple conversations. These are real simple conversations where you could just nip it in the butt and keep going about your day. But a lot of time, pride get in the way. Or I can't believe he did this to me. I can't believe this. But man, we accept stuff that if something go bad with us, we'd be like, you know what? Fuck it, whatever. Cool. Most time, a woman, all she gotta do, if she wrong, all she gotta do is apologize. That's all we looking for.
And it's over.
Yeah, we don't care no more after that.
That's a whole nother podcast.
We don't even care no
I heard
more.
some lies. I call bullshit. I heard some lies.
How many times have y'all apologized?
We apologize.
Y'all can't count on one hand.
But the thing about it, we apologize and then the behavior changed. Y'all apologize, but the behavior don't change. So that is not accountability.
Yeah, it is.
How you want some credit for something you finna do again next month? I don't think so.
Or
That's why we pissed off.
Or they'll say, let's move on for the situation, but did you understand that situation?
Of course not. He gonna do it again.
Or not.
DJ Willie Will, what you got? What's on your mind? What you think? What you think about the shutdown situation?
The shutdown situation, man. I think there is no positive way for a male to navigate a woman shutting down, because this is my main dilemma about the shutdown situation. We on y'all time. That's a problem. Because at a certain point we want to talk, like Tom said, or Mike said also, we want to have this conversation as mature adults or couples or whatever. So you shut down. If I'm not shutting down and you shut down, we're going to wait till later. And a person like me, I get on people's nerves because I'm done with the fucking conversation. When I'm done with it,
Don't come back.
I forgive you for whatever you said. My energy is gone from the conversation. And if you try to give it at me 2 days, 3 days later, I don't want to talk about it because I have moved the fuck on from the conversation. So it's like the shutdown part. If I'm waiting for you to come and you don't come in my buffer zone, which I'm gonna call my buffer zone, if you don't come at me within the time I'm ready to receive you and us talking, I'm gonna be like, I really don't want to talk about it. And if I don't say I don't want to talk about it, you gonna be talking and my ears gonna be fucking off.
And that's the
Be
problem.
why? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we done came and I done tried. Like Mike said, I done tried again. I done waited. and now I'm on your time. Shit, you got me about fucked up.
Okay.
And I'm saying me personally, you got me about fucked up because it says what Hayes says. I'ma feel that I'm kissing your ass now because I done came to you like a gentleman, like a man, like a father, like your husband, like your boyfriend. I done came with you respectfully. I done came and you asked you questions about the situation. Like Mike said, and we know y'all lying. So it's after a while, it's like, that's why I said my buffer time. I do have like a time frame which I'm willing to listen. After that,
So you know
keep
what
going.
you're saying.
We might well
is-
keep going and leave that in the past.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've done already to process the thing, and now I'm like, I don't want to, like, why should I get emotionally upset or feel some type of way because now you're ready to, because you said something earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're sitting in the house and now this person is doing whatever, he might be having a good time or whatever. You notice that this person is okay. And all of a sudden, well, that motherfucker's okay. But I'm not.
I'm the only good one around here.
I'm not fucking okay. How the fuck you watching sports, you watching TV, you smoking whatever, you having fun.
Because first of all, if I'm not okay, you shouldn't be okay. Because if you ain't okay, I ain't okay. Like, that's how it go. And here's the other thing as I was going to tell you. Because what you're describing is your partner has to fit into your buffer of communication. That's wrong in itself. Because we did talk about knowing your partner, right?
Yeah.
So if you know your woman, this communication is an area that she lacks in. She shuts down. We all know shutting down ain't cool.
Then she knows she needs to come at me within a couple of days.
So she can't fit inside your box. Emotions don't work that way. All we can do is, as men and women, is effectively communicate. That go for everybody. That means no time frames. We just got to do it. When it don't feel good, we just got to do it. When you pissed off, we just got to do it. Guess what happens if too much communication goes on or bad communication goes on for too long? Eventually, that thing is going to eat away at what? Your relationship. And then one day, that hole going to get so deep, it ain't going to be no relationship. So somewhere along the way, you got to decide what's more important. Do it, or just let's come together, baby, and find the right way to do it. Because this ain't working.
Can I speak? I'm going to switch a couple of words up. It's going to be simple as hell. When he said kissing your ass, that's fitting in a box. In other words, now we in your box because we wanted to talk to you. We literally gotta wait. Now we in your box. So my time frame is my box, right? Now us waiting for you is your box.
That's not what. Okay, so when to his point, when he said y'all gotta kiss the ass, whatever, my box wasn't. I said let's come together. My overall point of view on this is the two people need to come together and figure out what effectively communicating looks like for them. That other person gets to say, "Hey, babe, we said we weren't gonna do this. You shutting down right now. We said we was gonna talk through our issues." That's how you start to turn the page.
Let me say one thing. I agree with that, but that's not the conversation. The conversation is, what do we do when you shut down? That's why I gave my answer.
I'm giving the solution.
No, wait, let me tell you what you're saying.
That's
I'm sorry
before
to
you
cut
shut
you off.
down.
You saying if nan one of y'all are arguing, that mean it ain't no problem.
There's no problem.
If not, that mean both of y'all shut down. That's a problem. If nan one of y'all don't got a problem with each other and y'all not arguing, there's no problem.
So you mean to tell me we at home watching the game on a random ass Tuesday, and I be like, it's halftime, and I be like, babe, I want to.
Almost halftime.
Oh shit, we need to go on break.
I know, babe. I want us to find some time to figure out how to communicate. We keep arguing, we keep shutting down, we ain't getting nowhere. I want us to sit down and really talk about this. Is that an argument?
Starting one.
No, but
What?
you know what it is?
Damn.
One about to get started.
Damn.
Y'all both.
I agree
Oh,
with
there's
you.
some bigger issues.
No,
then.
I agree with you.
If I can't have a conversation with my man,
I agree with you.
like, come on now.
Nobody ain't in their feelings, so you don't know who's at fault for why the reason y'all arguing. So y'all both can communicate effectively when ain't nobody wrong.
That's what I said.
But there's nobody wrong. You got to communicate when it's a problem.
No,
That's what
because somebody.
The future problem, like if it comes up again, the future, then we already know how to solve that.
How do we move
No,
forward?
because you know what? If You say, oh, well, if it happened, I'm going to talk to you. You talk to me. Okay, babe, I love that. But then you get mad because I did something. You shut down.
Practice what you
now
preach.
I'm trying to talk to you. We back at square one.
Because if we came to an agreement on that random ass Tuesday that we were not going to shut down, and the next time we were in a disagreement and I shut down, you get to say, babe, we said we weren't going to shut down and you shutting down.
Well, maybe that'll work, but I doubt it.
See, and let's leave the negativity out of it. Because negativity doesn't do nothing but breed more negativity. Let's leave that out of it. Let's leave that out of it.
Logically, it's a art of effective communication do's and don'ts. And part of the don'ts that we've been speaking on is being dismissive. So that's something that we can try to refrain from, is being dismissive. And then another don't was dwell on negativity and blame.
It's been a great podcast, and it's been so good. We're going to have to do 2 parts of this episode. So please don't forget to subscribe and follow and check out next Tuesday, second part of this episode, Speaking Her Language.
Hey now, don't forget what to do. We got more good vibes coming just for you. Follow, subscribe, and hit that share. Show some love, spread it everywhere. Got ideas for the next big show? Drop a line, let us know. We vibe together, you know it's right. Hit that bell, don't miss a sight. Your feedback helps us grow, it's true. Tell us how we're doing, from us to you. More talk, more fun, more things to say. We need you to lead the way. Comments, thoughts, we're all ears. Let's build together year after year. Thanks for listening, we'll catch you soon. Stay locked in, new episode coming Tuesday at noon. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you soon. Stay locked in. New episode coming Tuesday at noon.